Welcome to Local SEO in 10. This is your go-to podcast for answers about how you can grow your local business online easily and quickly. Brought to you by local SEO experts Magnified Media in Walnut Creek, California. In each 10-minute episode, our digital marketing expert Adam Duran answers your questions on how you can get more leads for your business fast. Remember, if you're not taking care of this part of your business right now, you can bet your competitors are. And now, here's our host with the questions, Jamie Duran, and our expert with the answers, Adam Duran.
All right, Adam.
Hey, Jamie.
Okay, another edition of Local SEO in 10. Very excited about today's topic.
Yep, today is a good one. Actually, I just wanted to, where it comes from. I've spent the last 3 days going to the White Spark Local Search Summit. It's a 3-day, basically online conference where you're able to attend seminars from a ton of local search experts. And so I've been going through there. If you're interested in going to that, please go check it out. I found a lot of really great information. And, it's over now, so you have to go and pay for the replays. But like I said, full of tons of really good information about local search and, of course, how to improve your business online.
And okay. Who is this? Who is the conference targeted to?
Mostly agency owners like me, but definitely if you have a local business and you're trying to do stuff yourself, then it's probably a good idea for you just to take a look at the seminar titles, see if anything, piques your interest, and then go take a look. Yeah. So from there, I have these. I wanted to give the top 10 negative ranking factors for your Google listing.
All right.
So we talk a lot about, we got to do this good. You have to do this really well. You have to do this really well. Well, these are the top 10 most common mistakes for tanking your listing. So you could do everything else correctly, except one of these, and boom, you just blew yourself out of the water. So now is the time where you can just go through and say, am I doing this? Am I doing this? Bam, all done. Okay?
Yep.
All
Let's
right.
Start.
Okay. Here we go. Number one. Anyway, I'll go with the ones that I like. And then the ones, if we run out of time, we'll put them in the show notes. But number one, incorrect business category. We've talked about that one before. It's really common where we see a business that chooses the wrong category for their business. So make sure that you know, this is my category. This is what the kind of business that I want to pull in. And this is exactly what I do. To make sure that you're actually, you've actually chosen the right category and other subcategories, there's a great tool that you can use. It's called Plepper, PLEPER.com. They have, because Google introduces new categories all the time. They don't say they do, but they do. So this is a great place, a resource for you to go and check and see if there's been any more categories that have been assigned to your business without your knowledge. So you can put those in and then you'll be better. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. Next two are kind of related. One is your listing. You used a false address. So you went to Craigslist and you're like, hey, can I get a verification postcard done there? And some guy takes your money, verifies it for you, and then next day, shut down.
Boo.
That happens all the time. And in conjunction with that, of course, no UPS, no post office box. You can't use any of those. Basically, the general rule of thumb is, can you meet a client there on a regular basis? During your hours, can someone go to your business, go to that location and talk to somebody in your business? Answer is yes, you're good. Answer is no, negative ranking factor.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
It is. I'm just the messenger.
I know, but come on, Google. Yeah. How many businesses are online now? Like Google. How about that?
Well, you can go to their address.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Next one is, guess what? Your site was hacked. So on a previous podcast, we talked about that HTTP or HTTPS. You want that S at the end of that because that stands for secure. So Once your site is secure, that helps in its ranking on Google and Google Local. So you want to make sure that your site is secure and, of course, that it hasn't been hacked. That would suck, right?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, so sometimes that happens, and when it does, your browser will shoot up a giant message saying, this site is hacked. So what do you want to do? And most people, of course, turn back. And so when Google picks that up, bam, that's a negative ranking factor. You're out.
All right.
This next one I liked, and that was because it's tough when it happens, but negative reviews. So if you have a bunch of negative reviews about your business that are on there, you better react to them, and you better, do something about them. If you have a string of 1-star reviews that are pulling your ranking or your rating down, you got to do something about those. So you either got to counteract that by getting a ton more positive reviews, or internally you have to start, reevaluating why you're getting so many 1-star reviews. I think that makes sense.
How many is too many?
I in my opinion, if your aggregate rating is a 1.2 or under a 2.5 or even a 3, you want to start, paying attention really, really dramatically, especially if you're in a really competitive environment. If you have a lot of people in the same category as your business, you want to make sure, of course, that you're a 5.0 or, 4.9 would be great. But, do your best, basically.
Got it.
Don't get negative reviews. There you go. Next one, of course, is if you don't have many reviews at all. All right, if you have few reviews and your your competitors have a ton more reviews than you, then you're out of luck, man. You're not only will you not show up in that Google 3-pack, but the click-through rate, when people compare your business to your competitors, that will also be dramatically affected, of course, because, if your competition has, 200 reviews and you have 5, theirs are all 5 stars and yours are 5 stars too, I'm still going to go with the 200 one. Just, I don't want to waste my time.
All the 200 are fake.
Well, sometimes that happens too, but the idea is that click-through rate is going to be much higher for that one with more reviews, especially if it's double, triple, even more than that. Just because people are, they're not jaded like you, Jamie. These are all fake. No,
what I see is in my category I see a lot of these, and these businesses are ranked exactly where we are. They're right there with us in the 3-pack. So, I'm sure Google has an explanation for that, right, Google?
Yes, they do.
All right.
Yes,
Next.
they do. All right.
It's not podcast, not about me, but go
That's
ahead.
not right. All right. So another one is really interesting, and I've seen this with law firms, where a long time ago when they started the law firm, somebody started a Google My Business listing for them. Then that person said, "Peace out, y'all," and took off. Then they took that login and password with them, and now nobody can go in and do anything to that Google My Business listing. So they start another one. And so then you have 2 competing Google My Business listings for the same business at the same address. And when we confuse Google, we lose.
Yep.
So when that happens, you have to go, there are some steps that you can do for claiming that other business. And a lot of times you can get control of that business. But if that happens, it sucks. So you want to make sure that you don't have that happen, right? So if somebody creates a Google listing for you, in your business, one of your staff, you want to make sure that that staff member is definitely not the admin or owner of that listing, that you are.
Intern.
Because, intern, I've seen that too. Mm-hmm. When they leave and they take everything with them, there's no law that says they have to give it back. I guess you could sue them. I don't know. But in any case, Google is silent about these. But when you confuse them, they really will. They'll basically not give either result. And that's, that can be really, really tough for a business owner to hear.
Got it.
Yeah, we've seen that. I've seen that with dental offices. I've seen that with law offices, of course, lots of different ones. So make sure that you have control over your listing, and make sure there's not multiple ones that you're at the same address for your business. Terrible.
Got it.
Okay. Now, this next one falls along with that one, and that's you have a Google My Business listing that intern took off with, and then they marked it as permanently closed.
What? Who would do that?
I don't know, but it's probably not a good employee. So when that happens, then yeah, you definitely have to call Google. You can tweet them. That's a good way to get in touch with them. Go to their, they do have a forum for search and for local search that you can, pose your question and get some help that way. With COVID, they basically turned off their phones and so talking to somebody at Google is much more difficult. This is where you're going to need a specialist probably. If somebody marked your business who had admin or ownership of it as permanently closed, it is really just them going back in and clicking one button and saying it's not closed anymore. But, if you don't have access or if that person has a grudge against you, then, you can be SOL, and that's tough too. All right. Last one is if, say, for example, you're at your business address is at a shared workspace. So you all have the same street address and maybe a different box number or something like that. That can confuse Google. And so when that happens, you should understand that you have to be creating a ton of stuff on your website to overshadow those other listings. Because if you don't, and they're in the same category as you, if you don't do it, then Google is once again going to be confused and then you're out. So negative ranking factor number 10.
Well, this must happen in every single law office, every single dental office, every single doctor's office, every single. How come Google, Adam? How come Google doesn't? You keep saying they get confused. Are they a 3-year-old toddler or are they a multi-gazillion-dollar business?
The second one, but Jamie, they don't care. So you have to understand that the whole, all of this leads back to, does Google make money on this? Yes or no? And really, they make money on
more money.
On local search or local, they make money on ads, right? So they have a big motivation to get this right, but there's so many listings. There's so many businesses that expecting, this to go right for everybody. People are people and they make mistakes. I understand. If you find that you have any of these things happening, or you just don't know what to do, then you can, of course, reach out to us, but you can also, if there's a local SEO expert that you depend or you can trust, reach out to them. Most likely they can solve the problem. I know in my experience, we've solved every one of these problems for, I don't know, hundreds of clients. And when we do, it's great because you can see night and day. From 1 month, the amount of phone calls, they do a 180-degree turn. It's great. When we fix stuff like this, it's, it's like turning on a light switch. So I love that. I mean, the incorrect business listing, that is, oh boy, that one, definite, you turn on the spigot really fast when you fix that.
Fantastic. Anything else you want to wrap it up with?
That's all I got. Thank you to White Spark for this. That's a great idea for a conference, a 3-day seminar. Everything was free for the first, for live viewers. After that, if you want to pay and see the replays, definitely would recommend it.
All right, very good. I'm sure you'll have that in the show notes and how people can find those. And once again, if you enjoy this podcast, make sure to share it out with other agency owners, but any business owner that has a listing online. They really need to know this, especially if their intern, permanently closed their business. That's kind of a big indicator. Yes. But make sure to review and, give us 5 stars on that review. We really appreciate it. It improves the rankings of this site too, of Local SEO in 10. All right.
True. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great day.
That's all for now. Thanks for listening to this episode of Local SEO in 10 with Google local marketing expert Adam Duran. Join us each week for answers to your questions on how to best harness the power of the internet to grow your business. Speaking of questions, got some? Message us through our Facebook page, Local SEO in 10, and we'll be sure to give you your answer on an upcoming episode. This episode of Local SEO in 10 is brought to you by Magnified Media, the leading online marketing agency in Northern California, who invite you to grow your business by magnifying your online visibility and credibility. Visit them on the web at www.magnifiedmedia.com. Magnify your business, magnify your profits.